All right, guys, how's it going? It is time for another exclusive, all right? Because you can't go 5 minutes on the internet without an exclusive. And Liverpool Football Club, can you? All right, I haven't read it yet. It's from Talk Sport, and it is an exclusive because it says so here in capital letters. All right. Now I know you like this feature. I love doing the exclusives. I'll be honest with you, I love it. I've not read the article. We're going to go through it together. It's by Ben Jacobs. Oh, Ben Jacobs and Connor Andrews. All right. So it took two of them to put this exclusive together. That's some serious effort right there, isn't it? Now, normally, I'll say to you when you visit a website, if you do not know the credibility of a website and you're reading transfer rumours, always judge it by the amount of advertising on said website, right? Because if there ain't a lot of adverts, what's the incentive to get you to click through, right? That's how I deal with things. So I can't read the entire article to you. I'm not supposed to do that. So I will leave out the obvious bits. If you think I'm stitching someone up, make it look good or bad, go and compare the article to what I say in the video. But I just leave out obvious things, you know what I mean? Like who Liverpool are or who the manager is and shit like that, okay? Lots of adverts to close down. There you go. There's no surprises there. Here we go. Are you ready? The headline is as follows. Liverpool reach agreement for Newcastle transfer target after making Alexander Isak approach. Little bit vague on the headline there. Do you know what I mean? Is it to make you think that it's about Alexander Isak, or the fact that they've mentioned Alexander Isak, does that mean it's something else? And what you have to realise is that when these websites or articles are posted on social media, often only so many characters are fit in. So you'll often see bits cut off, right? So on social media, for example, maybe on Facebook, I don't know, I haven't checked, but I know this happens. I've been doing this for 30 years almost, guys, right? What you might see on social media or on a Google search or just where the characters are limited is Liverpool reach agreement for Newcastle transfer or transfer target after making, and nobody knows. Like, do you know what I mean? So sometimes it can be cut off, and that's often why they will put that bit at the end, all right? DKB, don't know space. I'd make a fucking fortune if I carried on like these idiots. Right, here we go. Liverpool have reached an agreement in principle for French forward Hugo Ekitike. Talk Sport understands. Everyone fucking knows. What do you mean? Now, when people say in principle, that could be true, a deal in principle, but it's also a get out for many of these Twitter twats and the like, or they'll say, an agreement in principle, which basically means if it don't happen and they'd made it up, when you go back and question, say, no, we said in principle. Personal terms in principle, in principles, a very get out of jail work, saying, I think. All right. But anyway, regardless, everyone in the fucking world knows, so I don't see what's exclusive about that. So let's hope there's more to it. Says what Liverpool have agreed to pay. We've heard all this. Says about Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes and his counterpart, at Frankfurt being in talks. It's understood that Ekitike has already agreed personal terms. Of course he has, or else Liverpool won't bid for him in the first place. News of Liverpool's breakthrough will come as a blow to Newcastle, who had a £70 million guaranteed offer rejected, but it did not have the same add-ons their Premier League rivals submitted. They're not our Premier League rivals. Sorry, Newcastle fans. Shout out to Liam, all right? You'd have to watch yesterday's morning briefing on my other channel to understand that. I was out on the lash on Saturday night, and I was in a big busy bar, and some lad shouted, "Hey, Mr. Cocteau," and it was a Newcastle fan, and he came and had a word with me. We were talking about Alexander Isak, and that. He was on holiday with his dad, and it was just nice to have a grown-up conversation with Newcastle fans, so that was pretty cool. I'm very sorry today. See what I mean? I'm very tired today, guys. I'm sorry if I'm, fucking my videos up. I had about 3 hours sleep last night. Anyway, let's move on. Ekitike is due to travel to the UK today to undergo a medical. We know all this. At the time of Newcastle's offer, TalkSport understood Frankfurt executives were reluctant to budge from their previous £87 million valuation. who up until last season had failed to live up to high expectations. It doesn't really say anything else. It just talks about him netting 22 times in all competitions. The Reds are on the lookout for a new striker with Darwin Núñez on the market and valued at £59 million. As a prelude to their Ekitike interest, Liverpool indicated to Newcastle they would be willing to pay a British record £120 million for star striker Alexander Isak. The Magpies, though, value the player at £150 million. With Newcastle refusing to budge, Liverpool have instead turned to Ekitike, where they are hoping to wrap up a deal imminently. Talks about other business Liverpool have done. That is it. I shit you not. It ends on just how Liverpool have already signed whoever. What was the headline? Liverpool reach agreement for Newcastle transfer to... But we all know this. How the fuck is that an exclusive? Do you know what I mean? It's so poor. And that, don't forget Ben Jacobs' name is on this, guys. He thinks he's the next Fabrizio Romano. It's just poor. The state of football journalism for you guys, I think is not for me, because I'm not really that fucking interested in reading all this shite. I know it's a load of shite. But you know, I started Cop Talk back in the 90s, and it was a much better place, the internet. And do you know why that was? It's because back in the day, right, when I first started out with it all, right, with Cop Talk and that, you got good money for advertising, right? Good money for advertising. And it dropped significantly in the year 2000. It was called the dot-com bubble burst, all right? And I knew it was going to happen, which is why I started my VIP members website, which saw me get slaughtered by Liverpool fans online. Not my peoples, but the others from other sites that tried to rival Cop Talk and that. You know, just scam this, you know, scam that. The internet should be free. And they've all got memberships today, but they weren't as bright as me. They didn't get in early enough, right? So what would happen, for example, is back in the day, if I displayed so many adverts on my coptalk.com website, you might get £1,000 for those adverts there. I'm just picking a figure out of the air, right? But for the same amount of adverts today, you might get $1 or £1. Let's say £1. That's how much advertising dropped back in the day. So at one time, I mean, they were literally throwing money like this at me, guys. Like money after money after money, right? Because you all wanted to be a part of Cop Talk. It was the cornerstone of the what was called the Total Football Network. There used to be a magazine in England called Total Football. And it had a website for every club. And then for big clubs like Liverpool, it had a few websites. But Cop Talk was the best out of all of them. It was the cornerstone. So they gave me lots and lots of money. They needed the traffic, right? And the reason I'm telling you this is that because the dot-com bubble burst and advertising revenues decreased significantly, this is why now when you visit websites, you can't see this because it's a static page, right? But on my phone, when I'm browsing this, there's adverts all over and videos playing. You know, all these little video interviews that play that, they earn money for that. Everything that's appearing, and they do it to fuck your experience up, because you're trying to close it and you accidentally click on it, and that's how they make the money, right? So because the revenue is so poor today from advertising, that's why we now have clickbait. We didn't have clickbait back in the day. It didn't exist. You know, it was the headlines were genuine. There was no reason to mislead or to overhype something. So if you think back in the day, a typical website like Cop Talk would have one banner advert along the top, maybe one square advert down the side, or another like what's it called, like a rectangular advert down the side, right? Say 160 down by across 600 down or something, right? So maybe a couple of adverts on the front page of a website. Now try visiting some of these websites. There's multiple adverts everywhere, because that's how they try to get the money. So at one time you could have 2 adverts. Today you've got maybe 20, right? So because that industry's fucked, that's why there's so much clickbait and shitty exclusives to try and drag you into their websites, which is why I'm trying to, tell you guys, and not patronize you guys, but say to you, look, if you go to a website and there ain't a lot of, adverts on it, what are they gaining from you visiting? You know, they're not selling you anything. If they're not selling you out or they're not plastering ads, then maybe there's some credibility in it. So always be suspicious. The more ads usually means the more bullshit. All right. So anyway, I'll leave it with you. There's nothing in here whatsoever. We know everything about Ekitike. The one thing I will say about this article is I don't think that our interest, you know, us getting Ekitike over the line stops the Alexander Isak interest at the present time. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you in this video. I'm sure I have. I'm exceptionally tired today. I only had about 3 hours kip last night. Honestly, I'm absolutely knackered. So I don't think I'm doing very good with my delivery of my stuff. All right. So please just cut me a bit of slack today. I'll be live at 6 on here, guys, if you can make it. All right, that'd be nice. I'll try and have a little nap. Maybe this afternoon or something, a little siesta or something. All right. If you found the video interesting, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a coffee, I think I need a coffee. There's a love art under the video. That's called the Super Thanks. I always give a shout out to everybody that supports my channel. All right. Like that, and I do that in my morning briefings on my other channel. All right, Duncan Oldham. The link is in the video description to that channel, and it should be on the screen around now. I haven't done my morning briefing yet, but I'll go and do one in a minute. All right, guys, take care. Maybe see you at 6.